been a long evening, but you finally got there with a penalty win over your former club Forest Green. Pleased with the performance?
Very pleased. Tonight was all about getting a few minutes into certain sets of legs. I managed that, but to get the result on the back of it as well was fantastic. The manner in which we went about it was really good. The boys applied themselves really well, and it was nice to see the work ethic we had all the way through. We were spot on. We were hunting in packs, trying to get the ball back, winning it back where we had to, and we produced some half-decent stuff at times. So yeah, very pleased. I know it went to penalties, which is always a bit of a lottery, and thankfully for us tonight we came out on the plus side of that.
And for many of your team, and especially you, links to Forest Green Rovers. So was it nice to beat a side which you've got a lot to be linked with?
Yeah, it's always nice. I mean, it's probably now, even non-league wise, it's the first result I look for. That and Gloucester are the first two I look for. So it's always, to beat a team like that, regardless of what they put out there tonight, is always nice. It being a former club and seeing some friendly faces and faces I knew was very good. So yeah, always nice in that respect. And like I say, the team they've put out tonight, 5 or 6 or maybe 7, first team pros. It shows the progress we're making as well.
Yeah, indeed. Well, they even had an international in Jake Thompson playing tonight, who's played for Trinidad. So, is it pleasing your side could test themselves against players from that level, and they didn't come up short? In fact, obviously they turned out winners.
No, massively. For some of my lads, that's a good learning curve because they're dealing with lads who are training day in day out. We're in twice a week, and playing against lads like that will only better my squad. For some of our lads, we've played at that level. Myself, Steve Jones, Mike Jackson, and a few others. But generally, for the likes of Elliot Kennedy and Ryan Clark and Ashley Caldwell, it's fantastic to match him up against that and show that we can actually compete with a team like that.
And Elliot Kennedy was fantastic down the right for you, especially on the wing, taking on his man and putting in some balls. You pleased to see his development? Because I know you've moved him to a wider position.
Yeah, very pleased. Obviously, Elliot is still a work in progress. He's still far from the finished article, and he knows I think that. But he's putting in some better shifts, and he's actually listening a lot now. So he's listening to people around him. He's listening to Steve, myself, Dino, and players around him, and he's producing better performances. That's why I think I said last week it was a very, very difficult decision to leave him out when we got Macca at the club. But he put a good shift in on Saturday, and then he's worked his socks off again tonight. So I can't ask any more of him.
And your attack too, you mentioned bringing in Mark McGregor, you had James Versaisie playing tonight, also Carl Brown putting a good shift. You've got options now up front. Are you confident of being able to handle them?
Yeah, definitely. It's it's really good for me. It's a great position to be in as a manager, I think, when you've got your whole squad fit and you've got real competition for places everywhere. Not just across the front line. I've got 6 or 7 lads who can play centre half as well. So and across the back. So it's really good because it's positive. And as long as we're winning games, the lads realise that there are some changes that are made for certain games. A little bit like Elliot the other week. It's horses for courses a little bit, and we're picking teams to win games now, which is a great position to be in. Rather than think about have we got 11 or 12 or maybe 3 subs or 2 subs. It's actually that where I'm packing a bench out with good quality. So it's really good.
And you've got some good memories of the Senior Cup with FGR and also with Gloucester City in more recent years when you went to Bristol City in some of the finals.
Yeah.
Are those the sort of memories which you can say to your players, hey look, this is what you can achieve?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the County Cup, I mean, it's one of those things. Some clubs think of it as another game, but for us now, I mean, we've been knocked out of 2 cup competitions, and it was nice to get a performance tonight that deserved getting into the next round. We take every game as it comes, as you always do, but our league form is what's paramount at the moment, and we're on a really good run of form. We want to keep that up, and momentum's a big word in sport at the moment. But you look at tonight, another win, it just keeps you bouncing into next week into training. So. Yeah, giving the lads the weekend off as we've not got a game, so it's just nice to be in there. And I think we've got Bristol Rovers again at home in the next round. So yeah, it's another big club, big club coming to Bishop's Cleeve, and it makes a nice difference.
And finally, when you see what your former Rovers teammate Rob Cousins did with Yate last year in the Senior Cup, is that something you think it's normally the bigger clubs that win it because they've got the resources, but it's something which you possibly could do if you get on a good run?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I've got a squad that's good enough to compete with, whatever it might be. If you consider that a Forest Green reserve team or, or a Gloucester City team or something, I've got a squad that can compete at that level at the moment, which is great. But yeah, it's not top of the list, which I'll be honest. But our league form is, and trying to push for those playoffs, and the results in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and probably up to Christmas, will define where we're going to possibly be. But yeah, it's a nice add-on and something good to look forward to. If you're playing it somewhere like Wadden Road or FGR or the Memorial Stadium in the final, then that's great, and that's that's the carrot that's there for the lads really, is to play at possibly better grounds. So yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
No problem. Thanks.